This is a diesel fuel injector, and its sole purpose is to deliver fuel to an individual cylinder, and of course work in harmony with every other injector. If one of these aren't doing their job properly, well, you are in for an extremely big headache. Not to mention a lack of fuel economy and of course a lack of power. Well, the remanufacturing process of these should be done only by a professional. It's not a job, it's an art form. At Denso Australia, their premium service dealer network guarantees you the very best fuel injector all the time. You can be sure that one of their economically restored, remanufactured injectors is going to give you the very best performance, economy and power, and work in complete harmony with the rest of the family. They service Australia, New Zealand and the Pacific Islands. Over the last 10 years, diesel-powered vehicle sales have more than tripled here in Australia. No longer is diesel power reserved for the commercial vehicle. Fact is, more and more families are choosing to power their drive with a diesel engine. In part, diesels are generally more fuel efficient, they're able to deliver more torque, and considered by most to be the more enviro-friendly choice. Stringent emission standards required to be met by manufacturers have seen the introduction of common rail diesel fuel systems capable of delivering fuel at extremely high pressures, more than 2,000 bar. Denso released the world's first common rail system in 1995, and since then, they've been actively involved in developing advanced diesel engine technologies to meet the stringent worldwide emission regulations and, of course, the constantly evolving consumer expectations. As a leading manufacturer, Denso is increasing fuel pressures and controlling injection methods, important requirements to reduce harmful emissions such as nitrogen oxide and particulate matter, plus improve the performance and economy of diesel engines. Gareth, thanks for having us out here to your injector remanufacturing facility.
Yes, it is, Aaron. As you can see, we're very pedantic on our cleanliness, and the way we keep the place and the way the place is actually maintained is up to the highest standards required from the sort of product that we're dealing with.
We're here to talk about the remanufacturing of injectors. Is an injector that's been remanufactured as good as a new one?
Well, definitely. In the case of the Denso injectors, we remanufacture them back to the original equipment standard. So it's crucial for us as a company that we uphold those standards. As an OEM supplier, that anything that we do as an aftermarket repair must be up to that OE standard.
OEMs are?
Original equipment manufacturers. So depending on what sort of vehicle you drive, 9 times out of 10, it's got some sort of Denso component in there.
So what can affect an injector? What makes an injector not happy?
Many things can affect it. Fuel quality, type of fuel can affect it, even down to overall air quality of an injector. So if you've got a car that's been out in the desert, been seeing a lot of bull dust or something like that, that can have an effect on the injector as well.
So talk us how an injector comes in, gets remanufactured and goes back out again.
So the injector comes in, we would physically inspect the externals of it, we'd then wash it externally and then internally flush it. From there we'd then strip the injector down. Once it's stripped down, we clean it internally again with an ultrasonic. We then reassemble the injector with all new genuine Denso parts, and then we do a function test, and then we put it onto an ISO accredited test bench and actually run that test bench up to all the fuel specifications required for that particular injector to ensure that that injector goes back to the tested standards from the OEM requirement. From that point, then we bring it across and we would then put the new compensation code onto that injector. So the code that goes onto that injector is specific for that injector, and it tells the engine ECU in the car how that injector operates. By doing that, we can ensure that the engine itself can maintain its best performance, meet its emission standards, and also perform at its optimum.
Now, what kind of guarantees have people got when they actually get a remanufactured injector?
The guarantee with this remanufactured injector is it is returned back to the OEM standard, so what the OEM says the injector must be. It has genuine Denso parts fitted internally. We have a nationwide service dealer network that can fit these injectors. We can make sure that they are covered by our Denso warranty, but probably the biggest key there is the fact that these injectors guarantee that they will code to your ECU and return the car back to their standard required by the OEM.
Now, Gareth, what do people do that want one of these blue boxes? Where do they get them?
They can contact our premium service dealer network and they'll be able to purchase from them.
Okay, so they can get them anywhere in Australia because your network covers the whole of Australia.
All of Australia.
even in some areas outside of
So
Australia.
yeah, we actually cover Australia, New Zealand, and also the Pacific Islands as well.
Okay, so when they buy the little blue box, they're not dealing with a little blue company, they're dealing with a massive company.
Yes, global company.
A company obsessed with diesel.
Obsessed with diesel and obsessed with quality.
I love hearing those two words, I tell you what. Thank you very much for
Thank you.
the education I had today.
So when it comes to your diesel, don't compromise on power or economy. Make sure you only choose a Denso remanufactured injector, and you can get one from any of their premium service dealers. To find out your closest one, jump onto denzautoparts.com.au.